Let's go! Walker Howard part 2. This is a throw we left you on part 1. Are you kidding me? I knocked out 2 Capri Suns before this video, and I'm ready to go. And so, this Catholic High game was just a shootout. This was probably one of the more hostile environments Walker Howard played in. So what we're going to do is we're going to crank the volume up. Protection here, our left tackle going up against this 4-eye technique gives up interior pressure, which makes a lot of sense, right? This guy was on his interior shoulder, and Walker Howard is looking for Arsenault or the slot receiver here, and you notice something very fascinating, and this is why watching, tape is tough and why you really have to break everything down. Notice his head right here, and he notices this matchup here that, this too high safety, Jack Bech is killing him over the top, so Walker Howard pre-snaps like, okay, so if this safety's going to help on Jack Bech, and this safety is over the top of these two guys, guess what? If we're running double, post, double action towards these safeties, middle of the field is going to be wide open. But you notice, when you're looking up here, it's hard to see what the quarterback is actually going through, right? And you see, he's looking at this the entire way. Now, I want you to don't worry about the route here. I want you to look at Walker Howard's head throughout this course of the play, and you notice this defensive tackle is barreling down. He's taking a really good angle at him, and this is what's really impressive. Walker Howard didn't even see him. You notice he just kind of felt them, right? You just feel it. He just feels this pressure. And a lot of great quarterbacks have this. And this goes back to the point we made multiple times. For him to have this skill set as a first-year starter, once again, I believe this game was earlier in the season. So this is something you cannot replicate in practice because obviously you don't get hit. Now, of course, there's quarterback drills where you rush the quarterback from so many different angles. However, unless you're actually playing games, it's really hard to replicate the ability. See, he's ready to throw this ball. He's ready to just float this ball over the top, but he has to reset because he just feels this pressure. This reminds me a lot of Joe Burrow's first touchdown throw to Jamar Chase against Ole Miss, where he just kind of felt it was Badori Traore filling in at right tackle, and Joe Burrow just felt the pressure. He wasn't even looking at the player in front of him, and he just was able to step up and make a throw. So notice Walker Howard just steps up. Once again, something I really like about his ability stepping up in the pocket. This was something TJ Finley struggled with last year. Keeping 2 hands on the football. It's very unnatural, but if you keep 2 hands on the football, it helps with ball security, and now this guy's away from him, and he's running away, and he's ready to throw this ball, okay? But now, he's got to reset his feet to make this throw. But this running back who picked up this blitzing backer falls. So now Walker has to deal with this guy. And he waits. And then he flicks this ball. It is Mahomes did this in the big game last year against Tampa Bay. And he just flicks it. And he also wears that number 15 uniform. Throw it. Amazing touchdown. This is a very game-like atmosphere at the college level, okay? It's one-on-one. Obviously, a really good receiver, our guy Carter Arsenault, okay? And we're just back-shouldering this guy, okay? And, we're throwing the football. Our protection is, once again, breaking down. This offensive line reminds me a lot of the 2019 LSU group. Really good, but the quarterback makes them look unbelievable because you notice this protection breaks down, but because Walker Howard, notice when he's throwing this football, the receiver's head is not even turned yet, but he likes the matchup. And you notice you throw it so quick, this defensive tackle got around this guard quickly, but if you throw it so quick, it doesn't matter. And now that DTs and you can't rough the passer anymore the way you used to, look at where this ball is put. It doesn't look acrobatic. It looks very routine. It's not, but this is just perfect. It's perfect quarterback play. Okay, 3, 6, 9. So we got it's clear here, and this is important whenever you watch film. When you do this, there's 2 deep safeties, okay? So this is unlike the amoeba front we had in part 1, where Walker Howard was able to do simple math, and we're going to trust these guys, just to run by there, and let's just buy some time, and we're going to get a deep touchdown. All right, let's go ahead and run this play at full speed. It's ridiculous. Okay? Ridiculous. Okay, so this is playoff game against U-High. And the first thing I want to point out is this is why I'm watching film. Even if you have a good angle like this, it's hard to watch film when you don't have all 22. So this quite isn't all 22. If it was all 22, we obviously, like we mentioned just a minute ago, would have been able to see the safeties. So the first thing you see here is, we have a tight end here. We got trips right, all right? So first thing is that this wheel route does get open really quickly, okay? That's obviously something really hard to read, but, you could speak to, quite a few quarterback coaches, and the first thing they'll tell you is if you do have a good receiving running back, you should always like a wheel when the linebacker's all the way over here and this defensive end is right over here, okay? And, quickly that would have been open, all right? But that's obviously tough. And something else you notice on St. Thomas More's film is they don't throw it to their running backs a lot. Or they might, it's just not on this tape. Anyway, first thing we see here is Walker Howard gets some help. So we get a wide receiver. That's a smart thing. He picks out this blitzer. All right, Jordan Gilbert does a decent job hiding it. Doesn't time his blitz necessarily all that great, but he's hot off the edge, okay, and he's unblocked. Now, it's obviously a very important lesson when it comes to pass protection. Just because a guy is coming unblocked doesn't mean that is not by design. This is by design here. This is a really difficult block for our right tackle to come out here. We always want to take care of interior pressure first. So the right tackle is blocking the 4-eye, and this blitzer comes right here as well. So we do the right thing, and we leave Jordan Gilbert unblocked. So the protection here is actually pretty good. So, obviously the first step of this play is a lot of coordinators will say the easy read here is to throw it to the running back on the wheel. We move on. Anyway, blitzer comes unblocked here. Walker Howard immediately sees it, tries to go to this guy quickly. We're sitting on this. So then obviously the next read should be out here. He looks, but he doesn't want to make this throw because Jordan Gilbert is obviously a really good athlete. If this is, of course, Jordan Gilbert, like we mentioned in our John Emery Jr. piece from earlier this week, jersey numbers change, all that good stuff, whatever. So we get to this point, and now Walker Howard is left with the decision. He's got a guy right in front of him. He obviously chose to not throw this out, which might be a smart play. This is a close playoff game, and what some coaches will tell you is when you throw this out late, bad things can happen. The first thing is obviously you can underthrow this, and this guy could be just hammering down on it. We got a long defensive player. We've pointed out 36 quite a few times. I don't know if that's Osbury or not, but either way, this ball, if it's floated out, could easily be picked. Also, if you throw this ball here on this out, something else could happen. Long athlete right here. This ball gets tapped. it can obviously get picked off by any one of these guys. I think 4 is Osbury, one of the corners, 4-star corner. So you see there's a lot of 4-star, really good athletes on this field. So this is not ideal if you're St. Thomas More. Okay, I can't see the yard marker. Don't know what this 12 means exactly. Maybe 12 to play. I don't know. It's cool to see these new yard markers. Anyway. So he resets. Fakes like he's going to throw. And Jordan Gilbert decides to take a risk here. He said, I'm just going to sit and play this passing lane. And this is why when you're unblocked, you should just keep coming. Okay? But because Walker Howard is a dual threat quarterback, he doesn't want to whiff and lose contain, and he feels as if he steps up, he's going to catch him. But look at these. Look at the acceleration. Okay? Look at how wide his base is. And then plant and go. And he beats Jordan Gilbert in a foot race here through this gap. Got to shout out this protection here. Best block play I've seen this offensive line make. Everybody is just stalemated. Good defensive call. You got your elite athlete one-on-one. Walker Howard just makes a play. Gilbert almost shoestring him. Really, honestly, wasn't that close. And then Walker Howard just running, baby. Picks up 22, 23-ish yards. Joe Burrow was so good at this, folks. It's the most underrated aspect of Joe Burrow's game. And this is one of our first episodes on this channel, is the mobility factor when everything is guarded and all these defenders are spread out and you call the perfect blitz, it's still not good enough. Because if you're a dual threat quarterback and the defense is used to you keeping your heads down the field and eventually throwing it, when you decide to run, it makes it that much more effective. Take a look at this picture of Walker's dad, Jamie, when he played at LSU. I miss these mesh jerseys. You got the yellow elbow pad, and then you got the Peyton Manning offensive lineman face mask on a quarterback. I love it. So, yeah, there's, all this pressure on Walker Howard. And, he's a son of an LSU quarterback. He's a 5-star. Obviously, in the comment section down below, let me know if you think Walker Howard will be the starter by 2023. So, that is year 2 at LSU. I want your honest opinion. Do you think he beats out Max Johnson and obviously Garrett Nussmeier? There is one stat about Walker Howard and Arch Manning that you would think the reverse of it would be true. And I'm going to share that on the live stream, okay? So we'll see you on, obviously, Tuesdays and Saturday nights. So, yes, we are in Dallas. We're actually going to pick up the new pup, so make sure you check out the live stream. And it's the big reveal. Yes, the heir apparent to the legendary Boog the dog at 7 Central. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom! What are we having tonight, babe? Quickly. Sushi! Sushi! Sushi!